Hello, fellow traders. Black Coffee Trader coming to you. It is Monday, the 22nd of April, starting a new week here. And unfortunately, we started the week with a red day, although it is not as bad as it seems. We had pretty much green across the board except for two PAs. Did pass a couple of evals, so we have two new PAs coming in tomorrow, and we're going to need them because unfortunately I lost two PAs today. So, a little bit frustrating. I did it to myself. I got into a really bad trade with this PA 33, and that was a bad trade with oil. And then I got into a trade on NQ, and by that time I was like, you know what? I'm either going to make this back on this trade or I'm going to blow the account, and ended up losing the account, which is unfortunate. The second one, I was not paying attention to my drawdown, got into a bad trade, added, and ended up losing the account. So that's a bit frustrating. But other than that, we had a really good day. I mean, 250 on PA 30, 424 on PA 35, 365 on PA 37. I had 490 on this take profit eval. I passed these two one-day passes. So I had a couple of evals rebill and got them across the finish line right away. So that was great. I have another one here. Nope. Well, I thought I had another one, but I guess I don't. No, that's a PA. Anyway, but yeah, bit of a tough day, but overall, honestly, it doesn't feel like a red day. It really doesn't feel like a red day. I had two accounts that ended up red, and unfortunately they're big red. So the bad thing really is I was pretty aggressive on 36 and 37, and at one point this afternoon both of these accounts were at like around 400 in profit. So I really only had this account red, and it kind of happened right here on NQ. I was just kind of trading this move up and this move up. I've got account 36 trade showing right now. That's the account that we lost. But I just kept jumping into this slow squeeze higher, just kind of a churn higher. And I got caught here at the top. I was trying to get these accounts to 500 in profit, and I was close. I got caught abundant with two contracts, and this thing pulls against me. We had this big move back down. Let's just open this up a little bit so we can see it better. We had this big drop back down, which ended up in basically a $400 loss because I was in with two contracts. And then I just kind of got a little bit aggressive, thinking I'm going to try to make it back. And then I got caught in this tough trade here. It was in this trade for about 15 minutes, ended up losing at 300 to the tick, stopped me out to the tick, and then went the other way. So very frustrating. I did make that back, and then I ended up losing the account right here. This was the final trade. And this, again, I was just not paying attention to my drawdown, which is very rookie and very stupid. But had I been paying attention and realized that I didn't have any drawdown left, I would definitely not have entered that trade the way I did. So hindsight is always 20/20, as we know. And obviously, looking at this right now, the better entry would have been waited till we hit the EMA and then enter a short. So once we tipped this top, or once we hit the top of the market here and we kind of started to fall apart, this was definitely just kind of a stagger step down, and there was definitely opportunity there. But just mismanaged a couple of trades and got caught in unfortunate situation, and it is what it is. So again, like I said, it just doesn't feel like a red day. It feels like a green day. I had two out of the 5 accounts that were red, and yeah, it is what it is. Oil really took me for a loop today, and I've started to, and I think I talked about this on Friday, maybe Thursday, maybe, I forget. But oil has I've noticed can be really fakey, if you will. Big moves one way. I mean, NQ can as well, but it seems like the price action is a little bit slower on oil, and then all at once you get this kind of out of the blue move. And I really want to just show this. It's kind of what happened here. So I was looking for a rejection of this 82 level that I have had marked out for a while, and I entered this trade short, thinking this is going to come up and we're going to reject, kind of like we did right here. Well, that didn't happen, and I stopped out for a 120 loss. I entered again once we broke this, came back up, and I thought, okay, now we're gonna break out, and it's actually gonna hold. We're gonna hold this 82 level, and I entered with a couple of contracts. Like I would enter and then add in and add a couple winners, just small stuff, and then we had this big spike up, and I could have gotten out of this trade at $170 in profit, and then we started pulling back, and I thought, well, I'm gonna hold for. I was looking for a bigger win. I was looking for this to move up higher, closer to this next level. That was what my goal was. And I thought, I'm just going to sit into this trade in oil, and I'll just sit all afternoon if that's what I have to do until it gets there. Well, we had this pullback, and so I moved my profit target. I was in profit, but I moved it back down into drawdown and added. And I added twice, and wouldn't you know it, this stupid thing pulls all the way back, takes me out basically a $500 loss, which at that point put this account pretty deeply into the red. That was this account 33. And then, literally another $50, and it moves the other way, and I could have at least gotten out at break even. And then the rest of the day, oil just does this up down, kind of holding this sideways pattern. And I have noticed that has been a little bit of a norm with oil recently. So you kind of get some of these bigger moves earlier in the day, and then it kind of tends to go sideways. Now, some days it doesn't, but at that point I had really no desire to continue trading oil. And I looked at this as we were falling apart here this afternoon, and I thought about going short here, and I was like, it has respected VWAP all day. I'm not going to, and I'm glad I didn't. I mean, a long trade there would have been excellent, but I just decided to not trade it at all. And I don't know. Some days I do really well in oil, and some days I don't. I really feel like I need a little bit more time. And the other thing that I really feel like I need to start doing more with oil is I need to enter a trade and give myself like almost a $300 stop loss to where I can absorb a bigger move. Like this move right here, this move is almost a $500 move. It doesn't look like that much, but it's a pretty big move. So I just need to give myself a little bit more breathing room, and I'm playing a lot of these trades a little bit more tighter stops, and that's been something that's bugged me for a little bit with oil. I've had some problems with that, but it is what it is. Did nothing today on ES. We did bounce off this level here early this morning, all around lunchtime. We kind of bounced off. This would have been a really nice long, but I was actually looking at NQ at the time, and I'm sorry, I did take it. Looks like I took a couple trades here with my take profit, this account. I did take a couple trades there. $25 winner and $125 winner off this rejection. Whoops. Or this bounce off of this 50-23 area. So, but as a whole, that was really it. That was the only thing I traded on ES today. But yeah, getting back to NQ, we had this just really nice move this morning. I passed these two evals on this move down, basically from this point down to the bottom level here that we kind of bottomed out at today. That was really where I passed those two evals. And then I really didn't take very many trades with the PAs until the afternoon here. I did take some earlier. I don't want to say early morning, but like somewhere in the pre-market, I took a couple trades off this level and just kind of scalped my way, and that's really where I got this 252. Let's count 30 to $252. So one of the things I just want to clarify, I did talk about, I think I talked about this last week. I think I did. If I didn't, I meant to, or I thought about it over the weekend. But I talked about, and I think I responded to someone in the comments about maybe sizing down, only doing one contract, and not copy trading. And I did that for the most part today. However, it doesn't fit my style to go for 12 ticks. It just doesn't fit my style. I'm very, very uncomfortable, and it creates a big sense of FOMO for me. So I believe I'm better off to trade like I did today. I'm basically trading off the levels. Now here I obviously wasn't. We were in an obvious uptrend, and it was just one of those things where you buy and you hold, you buy and you hold, you get some wins. But for the most part, I'm going to stick to my levels. I mean, the levels work. And I just need to stick to that. I mean, granted, today was as it was again. I just say it again and again because it feels that way. It doesn't feel like a red day today. So I'm just going to stick to my guns. I'm going to stick to my trades. I'm going to stick to what I know works, what's worked for me in the past. And some days you have some wins and some days you have some losses, and we have to try to mitigate that. And I think one of the big things for me, just if I'm very transparent and honest, is I need to accept a loss. And that's really what happened here. If you go back to this oil trade, I mean, the best move to make right here is just say, all right, I'm done for the day. I was down like 900 or 1,000 or something like that after this trade. Very, very, very bad trade. Unfortunate trade, I should say, because I could have got out up here and that was just a poorly managed trade. And I didn't accept that loss. And when I didn't accept that loss, I entered into the next trade, which then ended up, going against me, and not right at first. I mean, I was actually hanging out in that trade for quite a while, but then it finally went against me as I entered in to try to work my way out of it, and all at once we went against me, and it is what it is. But anyway, I just need to do a better job of that. I need to do a better job of just accepting a loss and saying, you know what, I'm good with the $300, $400, $500 loss and moving on, because today could have been a green day, pretty much a green day, even with this big loss on this PA33. If I would have not gotten quite as aggressive as I did up here at the top of the market here this afternoon and bought at the top, so because I was up, Anyway, no use crying over spilled milk. I'm kind of rambling and talking over the same comments I just made, so enough's enough. Anyway, overall, we're going to call today a good day, even though it's red. Got a couple new PAs tomorrow, a couple fresh ones. Looking at my targets, I did add in the new PAs that are coming. Unfortunately, PA33, that one is gone, so we're not going to have that payout, and we're not going to have a payout with 36. So best case scenario right now is we're looking for 6,000 first part of May, and I'm going to be very, very diligent to try to get there. So anyway, that's what we need. The unfortunate thing for me really is this account. This is the most frustrating today, is the one that I lost there. I only needed 157 a day to get to a $2,000 withdrawal here in the first part of May. So I did it to myself, and it is what it is. So. All right, I got to wrap it up, but thanks again for tuning in. Hope you guys had a great day today. Curious to hear if you had a really good day or not, or if you capitalized on this awesome move that we had today, this afternoon. And if not, have a great night. Trade very well tomorrow, and I'll try to have an update for you, and we will do our best to be green across the board. That is the ultimate goal. So long.